チュー
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of DNA's The Dosage Podcast. I'm here with Cody King, and I'm not the cat. I am not the cat.
Not this time?
Not this time. I'm not. It's not Cody and the cat here on the podcast. It should be, though.
Cody and the cat.
Meow.
I like it.
That's how we're starting this show. Welcome back, everyone. This is another episode of The Dosage under the umbrella. We call this All the Good Culture because we talk about culture of a time when it was just so much simpler to be a fan of something. Just to do things and enjoy things. That year was... Oh, hey. The old school sound effects there. Tie with the host. Did you hear that? The door opening? AOL Instant Messenger?
I did.
Do you remember those days?
I do. Very, very far back in my memory.
It was a long time ago. But what's up? We got Trevor here. We have Batman. We have Ty. We have Moeller. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Moeller.
Oh, God. It begins. It begins. The goal is hidden between her legs. It is, though. It is.
It is.
It's. I'm just saying. That is what happened here. You guys are nuts.
GOOOOOALLLLLLL.
Good God. Welcome back, though, everyone. 56 seconds is Batman. This is going to be a fun episode. Why? Well, because we're talking about the year 2002. It is the year 2021 right now, so this is 19 years ago. We just got off the episode of 2001, which was 20 years ago, which is just insane to think about. 2002 here saw the release of many sequels and prequels in video games, such as The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, and several new titles and franchises such as Battlefield 1942, Dungeon Siege, Kingdom Hearts, Mafia, The City of Lost Heaven, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raccoonus, SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, Tom Clancy, Splinter Cell, Metroid Prime, and Super Mario Sunshine. What's up, Lana? First here in chat. So here are some notable events that I wanted to hit on before we talk about our mentions of the year 2002, and I'll kick it over to you before. So Sega established Sega Mobile Division to develop, produce, and distribute video games for mobile phones and PDAs. I haven't heard the name PDA in a while. Nobody calls it that. Do they even use PDAs anymore? Or it's a long time since I've heard PDAs. They established the Sega.com Business Solutions Division to service video game developers and publishers. Rockstar Games embroiled in controversy for Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City video games. We'll bring that up here. Thank you for the host, Queen. March 22nd saw The Sims overtake Myst as the all-time best-selling computer game, having sold 6.3 million units. April 24th saw one of my favorite channels, G4 Media LLC, the subsidiary of Comcast Corporation, launched the G4 Cable Television Video Game Network channel. We're actually starting to see a resurgence in G4. I don't know if you follow that on YouTube, Cody. But G4 is coming back. Did you ever follow it?
I do know, but I do know that Xavier Woods is a host for G4.
Yes, so we were interrupted by Mortal Kombat. But yes, Xavier Woods was hired to be a host as part of the new G4, which is super exciting. If you don't know who Xavier Woods is, educate yourself.
Austin Creed.
You should know him. You should get to know him. Otherwise, he's going to give you the up, up, down, downs.
Facts.
It's true. But yeah, that was very exciting. And honestly, he's a great addition to the network. He's going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of charisma, a lot of knowledge of gaming. He is a avid and passionate nerd. So he's one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in all honesty, too, if we could get a celebrity guest on any of our shows, whether it be the NOW podcast every week with Cody and Trevor, or anything else we do, I think he would be towards the top as like a fantastic
Absolutely.
and fun pick to have on here. First off, just because, again, he'd fit, in with the content that we're putting out. Like, he'd get it, and he'd be a great guest. So, not to mention great exposure.
Yeah, he has a vast knowledge of the video game world and everything nerd. Same thing as AJ Styles and Adam Cole, though, as well. They're both up there.
Exactly. They've put out content together too, sharing their personal collections. Who gifted who? Somebody gifted a game for their Nintendo arcade cabinet they had. Was that Xavier gifting AJ Styles?
Probably. I know AJ Styles has a pretty vast collection.
Because they had one of them has the Player's Choice cabinet. I believe that's what it's called.
That would definitely be Xavier Woods, though.
Okay. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched the clips. But I remember both of them together. One was at the other's place, and they had a present for visiting each other, and it was a gift, which I thought was cool. Very, very jealous of their collections. But they have a little bit more financial resources to obtain such collections.
For sure.
So, part of the game. But let's talk about the year 2002. That's why we're here. Hopefully that's why our listeners are here today, to hear us go down nostalgia lane and reminisce. And I'm most curious, to be honest, on how different, we talked about this in 2001, how different our experiences are going to be. Let's paint the picture. 2002, how old were you?
I was 9.
I was 17. I feel we're going to have very different experiences as far as what games we share and what holds, fond memories.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I know for 2001, our lists were, they were a little different, but towards the top, they became very close, and we had the same number one, which felt like the obvious number one for both of us, being Halo for 2001.
Obvious choice. Come on.
But for the year 2002, just breaking it down to my top 22, I realized how different our lists are probably going to be.
Looking at mine, you said you had a top 22 with my honorary mentions and the top 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 20 total. So I have 10 honorary mentions. So I had a top 20 basically. As we talked, we didn't give away each other's picks at all beforehand, just to let the listeners know. So we have no clue where we're going to end up. But we did say in exchange just moments before we went live here that I said I had an easier time than you did making this. And you've already established that with 22 picks.
Yeah, I did. I went through all the games from 2002 and pretty much put ones that I thoroughly enjoyed just on a piece of paper right here, all scattered up on there. And then, from there, that's where I broke it down into my top 10, which I have in my notebook over here. But yeah, this was pretty difficult. I think my top 10 was at least the top half was pretty easy. But once I got to the bottom half and had to leave some of these big ones off that I had a lot of fun with, it got difficult towards the end.
Well, you have me intrigued. Hopefully you have our listeners intrigued. Let's hear your honorary mentions.
All right, so games of mine that did not make my top 10 list. I'm going to start off with a big one. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance did not make my top 10. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Medal of Honor Frontline, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, UFC Tap Out, Super Mario Sunshine, Simpsons Skateboarding, MX Superfly, Outlaw Golf, Spider-Man the Movie, Jet Set Radio, and One Street Hoops. Those are all the ones that did not make my top 10.
I think I'm most taken back by Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, and I think me and you had this conversation a couple weeks ago when I was talking about how I got my son that Mario collection that had Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. And just Sunshine was one that just kind of slipped through. It's probably the only Mario game that I really didn't get into much. Even all the Mario parties, I kind of got into all those. I mean, that's Mario Party 4 is another one that didn't make my list that came out in 2002. But yeah.
We got an NOW. Catch that with Cody and Trevor every Sunday unless there's a pay-per-view. Sunday.
Cody and the cat.
Meow. So based on your feedback from Sunshine, I'm not going to really fault you for that because I feel that, I don't want to say it's a common opinion, but if anyone is going to place a Mario game...
with kids today, huh?
We got a host. Thank you for the host. What's with kids today? I added some new host alerts, so if you guys enjoy them, that was Freddy Krueger. So if anyone's going to place lower on the list of Mario games, like main title Mario games, I feel this is the one that people place lower on the pedestal.
And I think I know the reason for that mainly, because wasn't this pretty much a GameCube exclusive?
It was, yes.
And I think GameCube, out of all of the systems that were out at this time compared to the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, GameCube was probably number 3 in terms of the tier system there. I think most people had an Xbox or a PlayStation 2. GameCube was kind of there. It wasn't really. I really don't think it was as great of a system as the other two. And I think more people had the Xbox at that time.
Trash bag hose.
DK just called us all trash bag hosts. Thank you for the host, DK. I agree. Like, if you're comparing the Xbox console, the PS2 at the time, and the GameCube, I don't think people were going for the GameCube other than maybe hardcore Nintendo fans or, like, family households. Xbox was going to be your hardcore gamers, and then PS2 had the biggest install base. It had the DVD player, it had the games that people wanted, and it had the familiar branding because it was the PlayStation 2. So, of course, that was going to be the number one for people at that time. And then we're just coming out of the Sega Dreamcast dying, so if people are going to take risks with anything, they're not going to take risks with a GameCube. But I do disagree with the statement that it is a lesser system because the system is actually fantastic. The games that were first party on it are amazing. And it's still one of my probably top 7, if not top 5 game systems of all time. So, I enjoyed it. But that's not what we're here to debate, the GameCube. But yeah, I'm just kind of, that's the one that shocked me the most. And I'll give you my picks now. DK in chat says, and what's up, MX? Just want to give them a shout out for being here. DK says, I'm not a trash bag hoe. I'm just a regular run-of-the-mill hoe. He's just average. Just average hoe. There's your next gimmick, dude. Average hoe. Instead of average Joe, you're average hoe. Anyway. Here are my honorary mentions. Super Mario Advance 2, which was Super Mario World ported to the Advance. Technically, it's not a new game. I added it on here because it was something I did play around this time. I loved the Advance 2, 3. I think they did a 4th one. But there was fun. To play Super Nintendo games on the Advance was awesome. I thought this was like cutting edge. How did they put all this power into a little Game Boy? And then you could take Super Mario World anywhere. So I had to add that to my honorary mention. Super Mario World is one of my favorite Super Mario games. It's not going to make a top 10 because of reasons, but like Still amazing. Aggressive inline. I was a skateboarder, but I was also an inline skater. I tried to be. Let's put it that way. I make it sound like it was this dude doing big things. No, I wasn't that great. It was more so hang out with the boys and sneak beer and cigarettes and skate. That's what you did at 17. Go me, rebel. So aggressive inline, it's not a great game by any means, but it's just one of those nostalgia memory games that I put in time to. It's not a great game. What was a decent game, though, was like your Matt Hoffman Pro BMX 2, which came out this year. Tony Hawk 4, which came out this year. Again, I talked about that in 2001. Love the Tony Hawk series. 4 was probably the last good one until they went to like Underground, and those were fun. And then after that, and we talked in brief about that franchise too, I believe. They started to take a hit after that, and they finally came back with the remasters just last year. Another honorable mention, Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island. Same story with Advance 2 and Super Mario World. Mario Party 4, you mentioned, playing Mario Parties. Those are just fun games. They'll piss you
Absolutely.
off, but they're fun games for everybody. And
They're games
just,
to fight your friends.
oh,
That's what they're...
they really are. And they'll make you hate your friends, too. But they're fun. Anything with mini games is fun. And there's replayability.
That had 50 of them, which was the biggest at that time. 50 mini games.
Did it really? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a fun fact about Mario Party 4.
Did not know that. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, I learned that doing this list.
And that was on the GameCube. That was the first one on the GameCube. Because 1, 2, and 3 was on the 64. Because I believe it was 1, 2, 3 on the 64, 4, 5, 6 on the GameCube, 7, 8, and 9 on the Wii, and then 10 was on the Wii U. And then they rebooted it for the Switch. Am I right or am I wrong?
I'd have to look heavily.
Okay, somebody fact check us. Put up my glasses. Technically,
that would be pretty impressive to do 3 apiece on all the consoles.
I think it was, though, except for the Wii U. Because I only think they got the 1, and that was 10.
Are they up to 12 now?
No,
I think
they did.
way over that.
They did one for the 3DS, which was like 100 games. It was just mini games. They did one for like the Game Boy Advance, but it's not part of the numbered series. I think it's just Super Mario Party Advance or Super Mario Party DS. I don't remember. It might have been just DS. And then the latest one was just Super Mario Party.
Super Mario Party.
For
yeah,
the
that's
Switch.
the one I have.
Okay. Which they added online for that, so a future community night. We talked about that online.
I do have that one.
There you go, folks. There's a preview. Potential community night coming soon. Let's see how we fare up as co-hosts after that stream. If you steal stars from me, it's over.
I think I'm going to have to at this point.
Oh, God. It's over. We got a host. Oh. I love that one. PS1 boot up sound. So good. Talk about nostalgia.
So soothing.
It is. It's like, I'm going to have a good time here in just a few moments. Thanks for the host rated. Continuing on, Resident Evil 0, Metroid Prime, which I actually still have my GameCube copy of Metroid Prime. So, I'm very excited if they ever do Metroid Prime 4. That was loud. As you can see, the babe in the middle here, there was a game that I played through the one great iRob. He played this on the PS2. It was BMX Triple X. Have you heard of this game?
I have heard of it. I played it a little bit around the time I was playing MX Superfly.
Okay. Because this one had some risque content in it. And I think that was their whole approach to it. It was like the Guy game. Do you remember that?
I do remember the Guy game.
So there was that kind of content happening on like the Xbox and PS2 around this time. And I think one of them got like sued because there was somebody who was underage. And like throughout the course of the game show, if you do well, you get to see stuff that Twitch don't let us show, male or female. So I don't think we could ever play that game on stream. But they got in trouble because somebody was underage. Oops. Can't do those things. And then last on my honorary mention is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So you had also mentioned that. Good fighting game. Great, really great cast in it. He's Rated says what game. Rated wants to know what game
He
is
just
it.
wants to go play it.
He wants to go buy it. The guy game. Look it up, Rated. Good Lord. I'm sure there's better other content on the internet than the guy game. But I digress. He missed it. What's up, Thunder? Welcome. But yeah, are we ready? Oh,
Get rid of all the honorable mentions.
You just tossed it to the side. You got rid of it. If you're watching the video, if you're not watching the video and you're listening to this on podcast platforms, you can catch us doing these episodes live on twitch.tv/doseofnerdacumen. And then if you ever miss an episode that's live, you can always find the video version on YouTube. So check us out. Dose of Nerd Acumen on YouTube. We have 800 archived videos of things over the last few years. It's a lot of stuff. If you're ever bored, browse through it. See how terrible we are as hosts, how great we are. Some highlights, some goals.
Oh, God.
Just, it's all there. It's all there. But yes, top 10 list. That's our new format. We started this with 2001. It's going to be our format for now until we come up with a new idea. But I really like a top 10 list. I'm a fan of making lists, and it creates fun debates on whether whose list is better, because mine is. So,
Whoa.
Oh,
There's a goal.
there's a guy who just knows it. Oh, you guys just love
Interrupt
this
you with
so
that.
much. I thought they'd get worn out on these.
When I don't interrupt you, I still interrupt you.
It's true. You're always there. You just go for so long. That's what she said.
'Cause you mentioned it.
Who would like to have the honor and privilege of going first with their top 10th spot?
I did odds last time, so I guess I'll do evens this time.
All right. So
I'll start it off.
Okay.
So there was a handful of Star Wars games that came out in the year 2002. But I went ahead and I picked my favorite one out of the bunch to throw it on the number 10 slot. So that would be Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I know a lot of people liked Clone Wars, but Bounty Hunter was the one that I liked the most. Playing as a Mandalorian in its prime. It was just extremely fun, and I enjoyed this way more than I enjoyed either the Clone Wars or I can't remember the other one. It was the Jedi one though.
Jedi
this was the
Academy.
one that I would. Yeah, this is the one that I had to go with for number 10.
What exactly was the gameplay like in that one? Because I saw several in the list as I was browsing through, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember a lot from this time period.
Yeah, this was the only one that was a shooter. The other ones were more melee based, but this one was a shooter, and you were a bounty hunter. And this told you the backstory of Boba Fett's, I believe Boba Fett's brother. But yeah, this gave you some more backstory on the Clone Wars. So, like I said, this was a lot less melee based than the other ones were, and I enjoyed shooters more. So this is the one that I had to go with.
Now, is that considered canon? Or no?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's all attached. It's all the
Okay.
same story. This is just giving you backstory.
Gotcha. So my number 10 is actually, as we mentioned, remakes or remasters or ports of things. Resident Evil Remake, which they've done again, and I believe they're probably going to do again. But I currently have it, and this is not the same one I'm talking about, Resident Evil Remake, but I have it on Xbox here. It's part of the Origins collection, but Resident Evil Remake came out this year, and as you know, I am a big fan of the Resident Evil series, the films, the games, just the whole world or universe of Resident Evil. Anything zombie, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. Speaking of I watched Army of the Dead last night. I know that's off
How'd you like
topic,
that?
but I just wanted to bring that up while it's on my mind. I enjoyed it. It wasn't terrible.
I heard it was good. I haven't seen it yet though.
You should. You should. It's long. It's like 2.5 hours. I guess that's my only critique. So, Rated says, really, you're an RE fan. Never would have guessed. I am. You can catch the whole gameplay of Village on our YouTube, as well as all the other content. So check that out. But yeah, Resident Evil Remake, really enjoyed it. It's just a fun series. It combines puzzles with horror. And, I know Rated. He says that was sarcasm like I didn't know.
Like we didn't know.
You're killing me. I do like the spookies. It's true. It's true. But yeah, I enjoyed that. If you haven't played Resident Evil Remake, definitely check it out. It's worth going back to, and it still holds up well. So it's one of those rare games that have aged well. So I continue with 9 then, right? That's how we're doing this?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You got
Just-
first of number 9.
Got it. All right. I got the flow for the show.
Mm.
That's rhyme. See that flow for the show? I sounded cool
No,
there
like,
for a
you
minute.
You should make music.
I should. I did before. I don't know if it was so great, but number 9, continuing with the trend of remasters or ports and things. Another thing that I'm a big fan of that you may not know or you may already know. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Absolutely love Sonic. Big fan of the Sonic franchise. So I had to include this game in here because I played it so much. And it is one of the last times that we've seen in a collection where Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles is included. Supposedly, this year, probably September for the 30th anniversary of Sonic. Yes, 91, 2021. 30th anniversary of Sonic. Sega announced a ton of stuff coming out. One of the things they announced was the collection of Sonic 1, 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. So those 4 games are getting ported to current systems. I don't know if they're getting like remaster cleanup treatment or like an arcade treatment or how they're going to present the package, but I'm excited for this because again, I think this might have been one of the last times that those games were in a collection, and the reason was because of copyright. If you didn't know, Sonic 3 and I believe Sonic Knuckles had songs by Michael Jackson, so he helped create some of the music in these games. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the situation. It also had Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, which is not a good Sonic game, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and for those that don't know, Dr. Robotnik is what we call him, as opposed to, now I'm drawing a blank, Eggman. So there's Eggman and the Dr. Robotnik. So it depends on if you're here in America, Japan, or when you grew up with the content. But anyways, number 9, Sonic Mega Collection. If you can find this, get it. It's awesome. So awesome. It unlocks tons of content too as you play, but in hours there's unlockable stuff too for even more content. Back to you, Cody.
My number 9 is Ratchet and Clank. This was an extremely fun. I think it was more geared for kids, but it was a nice combination between platformer and role playing game. And then just the different types of out of this world weapons and gadgets that you got to choose from. It was just an extremely fun game, especially for somebody the age of 8 and 9 years old like I was at the time.
Yeah, it's not a series that I guess, dove too deep into, so I honestly don't know a lot about it. How many are in this series?
That's a great question. Didn't
Didn't a
I
new
know
one,
they've remastered this one, and I know a new one has come out.
I was to say, didn't a new one just drop for the PS5 like this week, or
Was it this week?
recently, or upcoming? Because I know I'm starting to see reviews online popping up. At least I saw them in like my feed on social media.
Ratchet and Clank has 16 games now.
Good Lord, that's a lot of games in 19 years.
16. Yeah, and this was the first one. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't realize that they had 16 games.
Are they all like mainline games, or does that include like mobile or like ports or?
It includes one mobile, two mobiles, and 14 console games. And then yes, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart came out this year.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen that advertised. We got chat talking about. Oh, thanks for the host, Lotus. We got Rated talking about things with Ty, and then Lana giving her commentary on it. I'm just gonna leave all this alone. I'm just gonna move right on because Lana is so wrong, so wrong. Anyways, yeah. Continuing on, number 8.
Number 8, that one's me.
As you.
Number 8 is kind of the same reason that I picked number 9. I picked Sly Cooper as my number 8 choice. I put it just above Ratchet and Clank, but realistically, they kind of go hand in hand for me. They're very, very similar games. Just Sly Cooper, you try to be more. What's the word I'm looking for? More
Sly.
sneaky,
More sly.
sly, if you will. But yeah, they were just great games that were a mixture between platformers and role-playing games, and they really kept my attention at this time frame. So, yeah, Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank, they can go hand in hand at this point. So 8 and 9.
So here's another confession. That's another series that I'm not super familiar with.
And I'm not surprised on that one. They didn't have a lot of Sly Cooper games. I want to say they only had 2 or 3.
I mean, I'm familiar with the name and like the character. I just don't know if I've played them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you should go back and at least try out. Because I think they are good games, and I think they still hold up pretty now for what they're worth. So if you are able to get your hands on either Sly Cooper or Ratchet and Clank for that matter, and if I were you, I would just go ahead and buy the new one that came out. If you really want to get your fair opinion on the franchise these days as well.
Now, are those exclusive to the Sony brand, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they
so I'm
are.
wondering if they're available on like PS Now or anything like that.
I'd assume so.
Okay. They were ported too, weren't they? Ported to PS3 or PS4, or remastered? I guess
Ratchet and Clank was.
Okay.
I don't think Sly was.
I'll have to look into that. Because, like I said, I'm curious. It's one of those games. There are a lot of games that just slip my attention because of periods of time I'm into certain content and I just don't get around to playing everything. There's not enough time to play every game.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the big point of like our age difference at this time, to the fact where I have games like Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper, and you probably have a little bit more mature games on yours as well that I didn't necessarily choose.
Just a little bit, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, number 8 to you.
So number 8 for me, continuing with the tradition, this is probably going to make my list for probably every year that we do going forward, as long as there's one of these that came out. I'm not going to say they're going to place high in my list, so spoiler alert, but I feel they're going to place in my top 10, probably low in it every year. This one, though, was another good one. Shut Your Mouth. So WWE, Shut Your Mouth. THQ, still making them. A good game here. I got this actually from Blockbuster. It says Blockbuster on the back. Around this time, I was buying a lot of used games because I couldn't afford brand new games. So you even had like the Blockbuster case inside here. No manual, nothing like that. But they had draft mode. They had just the roster at this time was phenomenal. Because a lot of these, in 2002, if you didn't know anything about the wrestling world, a lot of people had come from WCW because they were done. WCW was done in 2002. So a lot of the roster that was built into this game were the people that were showing up now in WWE. So you're finally getting these dream matches and games that we always wanted to have without creating them custom. So you're getting to see these matchups we didn't have before. And this was happening too in real life, for the most part, for those that actually, are fighting each other. But we were getting a lot of that in this game. And that was real loud. I tried to do that under the table. But yeah.
Mike's picking up everything today.
It really is super sensitive. Super hot mic here. Good Lord. But yeah, WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth was my number 8. And again, could not recommend it. And spoiler alert, those games are going to end up in my top 10. I don't know how high or how low. But a spoiler alert, you at least know one of my top 10 from here on out. So number 7, this is kind of what introduced me to the franchise. I didn't play them before this game, but I have been playing them since this game. It is the third one in the series, and the first one, to my understanding, that was put on consoles. And I bought this used as well. This is the Game of the Year edition of The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. So, in addition to horror, I do love a good RPG. I'm more prone to spend time in a single-player game than I am online, unless it's like Halo or COD. And more so Halo, I'm going to spend my time because I am better at that game. And the reason being is I'm just not good at video games, especially when it comes to online stuff. So why get frustrated when I could just be a BA in Morrowind and have the experience catered to my skill level? So for me, Morrowind was an introduction to what became then Oblivion, an amazing game. Obviously, we know the series Thunder with a Host. We know Skyrim. We know Elder Scrolls Online. Plus, there are other games too that not in this series, but things like Fallout and so on. Like, it's such a great series, and I can't recommend it enough.
I've been overran by a dog over here at this point.
Special guest.
He just hopped up on my lap and thinks he owns the place now.
Can he speak?
No.
He doesn't bark?
Only when he sees another dog outside. That's about it, though.
You can't command? Say, speak.
Nope.
Man, what a good dog.
Speak.
Hey, woof.
No. Not in my face. No. Yeah, but my number 7. My number 7 was actually your number 8. SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Up to this point, this was probably the best wrestling game that had come out. And being able to walk around backstage, that was something cool that you got to do in this game that you've never been able to do before. And like you said, this was right after WCW came over as well. So you had a lot of people on the roster. And at this point in time, you had a lot of storylines that you didn't get to see on TV that you could actually put them in the game and make some storylines out of it. So, yeah, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. It's one of my favorite in the series. So this one, surprisingly, is down at number 7.
I think if you're going to talk to any wrestling video game fan, they're going to put that in their top wrestling game list. Depending on how old they are, they're going to speak on that game or stuff like, yeah, I was going to say Here Comes the Pain, or stuff from the 64. They're going to talk about No Mercy. They're going to talk about like WCW, NWO, Revenge, WrestleMania 2000. So again, it depends on how old they are. But I feel like the people that I speak with are a little bit younger than me, some a little bit older, but really lean heavily towards this one, and Here Comes the Pain. And then some of the others mentioned what I had mentioned as well with the 64. But man, THQ, they are so missed compared to some of the crap we have now with wrestling games.
Hopefully they fix it. They did skip a year, so hopefully with that year break, they fix something. Hopefully. I guess we'll find out.
Man, you have more faith than me because I've been fooled.
Oh, I don't have any.
Okay, you sound more positive at least, or hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but yeah, the faith is not there.
No, it's not. The thing that's really sad too is I already know that I'm going to buy it day one, obviously for reasons for our show. But as a collector too, like, it's a wrestling game. It's like any other wrestling game. I'm gonna buy it. I even bought that other thing that they released last.
Battlegrounds.
Yeah. Bleh.
Yeah.
I bought
I didn't
that.
even buy Battlegrounds. I couldn't do it.
I did.
That's just not my style when it comes to wrestling games. But I did love 19. 19 was great.
Yeah.
Just 20 was awful, and it turned everybody off of the entire franchise. So hopefully they fix it. We'll see though.
Man, let's hope. We'll find out, and I'm assuming next week, Tuesday. By the way, this is a plug too. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to be back with another episode of The Dosage. We're pushing back the music and movie episodes 1 week because next week, Tuesday, is E3. If you don't know what that is, the Electronic Entertainment Expo. Every year, it's really kind of diminished in value, to be honest with you, especially with how many other conventions and expos there are throughout the year, and with Sony kind of just doing their own thing, and Xbox just kind of showcasing some stuff, and then Nintendo doing Treehouse. It's not as special as it used to be, but there are still going to be a significant amount of game announcements, information, trailers, and so on that I want to invite not just you, Cody, but anyone in the community to have a group discussion. This could be just an episode of Disaster, but I would love to get more people involved. If you plan on watching E3 beginning this weekend through Tuesday will be the conferences. I will post on our DNA pages and Discord the schedule that is available so you can keep track of what you want to watch or what you don't want to watch. And then we can come together and discuss it. So, who's doing a Jerry Lawler impression? What is happening right now? Oh, puppies. Jeez, good Lord. I'm done with this. E3PO? No.
That is breaking down. They're breaking down.
They are. So that's happening next week, Tuesday. So again, we're pushing back the music and movies one just 1 week. But we'll return with that with Warcraft. Thanks to whoever put that in the poll. That got picked.
I wonder.
Yeah, thanks. So now I have to watch it. I've never seen it, so that's going to be something. And then Modest Mouse is the band with their latest album. The Golden Casket, I believe, is the name of it. It's not out yet, the album. It'll be out a week before the episode that we do, so I'll have a few days to listen to that as well. So that's upcoming content on Tuesdays. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program here with the year 2002 in gaming.
Number 6. Number 6, I'm not going to lie, I cheated. I put 3 games in the number 6 slot because
Hold up.
they all kind of go hand in hand.
Hold up.
Yeah, I did it. So NFL Blitz, NHL Hits, and MLB Slugfest. I threw them all under the same
you're
umbrella.
Cheating.
All made by Midway Arcade Sports Games. I mean, realistically, if I was gonna erase 2, I would just keep NFL Blitz because this is the original one that was in the arcade on the cabinets and everything like that.
Yeah.
This was an incredible sports game that really kind of defied physics and everything else. You could catch fire and be unstoppable. This was just an incredible series. And this is really where the NFL Blitz series started. That's when it got extremely large. That's when it partnered with the NFL. So, number 6, I would have NFL Blitz, but I'd like to put NHL Hits and MLB Slugfest on there as well.
I mean, sports games, whatever. It's not the first
Just
time we've cheated
Midway.
on lists. So,
Yeah, Midway sports games.
So they did it for you that year, huh? That's fairly high up in the list.
Oh, I played Blitz, Hits, and Slugfest all the time. I mean, out of all these games, they're probably the games that I put the most time into, besides maybe 1 or 2. So yeah, they definitely got a little bit higher on the list because of how much I played them.
Yeah, this was a period of time where I was kind of fading out of sports games, to be honest. Like the only ones I was doing was like the skateboarding and the what do you want to call it? The aggressive sports. I don't know how to define it beyond that. But that kind of stuff, the traditional sports games, I don't think I came back to them until a couple years later in like 2005 when they did the $20 versions trying to compete with Madden. Do you remember that? And that was like the last time. Well, not the very last time. I bought a couple other Maddens a few years after that, but I just kind of faded out of it. And I think I bought like one NCAA. But this was like the decline in sports for me. It was around this period of time.
Yeah, I mean, I look at these kind of differently than I look at Madden or 2K, or I think it was Ken Griffey's MLB, something like that. I look at these way differently because these felt like arcade games more than anything. They didn't feel like simulation games. These just felt they had a completely different vibe to them that made it a lot more fun.
Oh, no, I'm not saying like that they're similar at all. Like I completely agree the arcade aspect does make it more fun. The simulation games, they serve their purpose, but these definitely are more fun of an experience. It was just sports games in general for me. It was just kind of like not what I wanted in gaming. I'd done it for so long in the 90s because that's all I was playing with sports games. Like I loved Quarterback Club. I played NHL Face Off so much. Like those games on the PS1, like I spent more time than anything else. But it was at this time I was 17, I'm getting into, like you had already mentioned, the mature content now. I wanted a little more edge to my games, and you're going to start to see that for some of my stuff in the list coming up. So speaking on, we're on 6. Number 6, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. To me, this perfected visually and physics-wise. Still included a great soundtrack, but it continued the success of the series that I enjoyed. This might be where, at the time, it kind of peaked before it started to dip a little and then really take a dive. I mentioned Underground helping it, but it wasn't enough to bring it back up to the levels to me where it was at. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Sadly, I don't have my copy of that. I don't know what happened. I wonder if that was one of the ones that I traded or loaned, never got back, because I have a bunch of games that I've loaned and then I lose touch with people and then they just have my games.
Goodbye game.
Yeah. I mean, I could find it fairly affordable now. It's not a big deal, but it's just one of those things you don't realize. And this is a side effect of being a collector. You don't realize what's missing until you go looking for it, and you're like, oh crap, where did that go? Problems. But yeah, that's my number 6. Number 5, since I'm the odd one this week, this is one that was in your honorable mentions that I didn't really scold you, but I was taken back by. Super Mario Sunshine, which, as you mentioned, is now available in the 3D All-Stars collection on the Switch, which you can't find anymore. Apparently, they took it off at the end of March of 2021 this year.
Really?
From the digital store, so you can't buy it digitally anymore.
Oh, I have the physical.
Yeah, they're not selling it physically. Like, they're not shipping to stores anymore. Like, you can find if it's on a shelf at a store, you can find it pre-owned, but like they're not.
Well, I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, it was announced as a limited time only thing with the Mario event.
Super Kick Party!
That was for you, by the way, that alert. I don't know if you heard it.
I didn't.
Super Kick Party.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I've added some stuff for you as gifts, by the way. There's
I can't wait to listen back now and hear it.
Ton of things in there, so you'll hear these as you go on. I've added little surprises to see your reaction, but yeah, Super Kick Party was for you. Thank you for the host, Andrea. But yeah, Super Mario Sunshine. As I agreed with you, this is not the greatest Mario game. It is still a fun game, and visually, like, even on the GameCube, look at the water effects. Like, that's a weird thing to be like, look at the water. But really, look at the water. Go back if you have a GameCube. Go online. Go on YouTube if you don't. Check out footage from this from the GameCube, not from the new collection, because they've sharpened up the visuals on that. It's a solid game. It holds up really, really well, and it's a great successor to Mario 64, which is considered one of the greatest Mario games of all time. I'll fight you.
I'll let you know.
So yeah, Super Mario Sunshine, that is my number 5 pick from 2002. Let's bring it back to you.
My number 5 pick for 2002 is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. This is one of the first actual, I don't want to say war games because it really wasn't like a war game. You're kind of like a real life ninja in this game more than anything. Yeah, this was a game that I heavily enjoyed as a kid. Really, just the playthrough value was, or the playback value was very good. Um, Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, where they're trying to pit fights against. You see this? We have chat.
I do.
You do realize
They were doing the same thing last week too.
Time out though, Trevor. He was in the military.
I was in the Marine Corps.
I have no formal combat training. He does. That's not a fair fight. Plus, the man has got like 4 inches of height on me. Again,
6'3".
Yeah, 4 inches of height.
6'3", 240. Well, 235.
All right, we weigh the same. But your reach advantage. This is unfair. This is like Paul versus Mayweather.
What? Well, the smaller guy won there.
Well, nobody technically won, but
That's true. That's true.
Trying to stay
but yeah,
topical.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell took my number 5 spot.
Now, I'm trying to think if I played this one. Is this the first Splinter Cell, or is this?
Yes.
Because that was on the PS1, wasn't it?
No, this was PlayStation 2.
There was a Splinter Cell game on PS1, though.
It might have been the same game.
Okay.
Just released on both.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I know this was PlayStation 2 because that's where I played it as a kid.
Time out. I don't think there was, actually. I'm correcting myself here. I'm mistaking Splinter Cell with Siphon Filter. My apologies. Okay. Very different games. I heard S in my head and my brain went to green graphic Siphon Filter, not green graphic Splinter Cell. My bad. Stop with the hate comments. Leave me alone. Leave Brett alone. God. This is forever on the internet now.
So I guess we're going to number 4.
We are.
Number 4 is going to be one that I don't think you're going to have on your list that I spent playing. I played this game back in the 2010s. So I played this game a lot. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So I wrote down here because my top 4 is really where I got more detailed. So hours spent playing this game with any friends that came over, and leveling up each character. I played this game for years, even broke it out when I was in high school, and then into the 2010s, just because of how great it was as a game overall. Yeah, this is one of the few games. It's the only game besides one other game that I haven't named yet that I've broken out in the 2010s and newer. This was just a great game overall.
So I feel like there was a little bit of judgy tone there. Who says it's not my number 1 pick?
I don't. Well, there's other very, very good games still to come.
Who says that's not
number 1?
Who says that's not my jam though? Who says I don't love Lord of the Rings? One game to rule them all, Cody.
Yeah, I don't think that's your number 1. I don't think anybody would necessarily put it as their number 1. And I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and I wouldn't put it as my number 1. It dropped all the way down to 4. Now, there was 2 Lord of the Ring games that came out in this year. This was by far the better one. By far.
It was the one to rule them all.
It was for Lord of the Ring games, but not the year 2002. If it is your number 1, I'm going to scold you heavily.
The game is precious.
It is precious.
I'm grasping at anything here. I am a big fan of the films. I can't say that I've played many of the games. The only ones that I've probably played were the more recent ones. If you want to define them as Lord of the Rings, they're not really, but they take place in the world. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. DK says they could take you out to dinner.
What are we getting? Sushi? I'm down.
Ooh, if you're going for sushi, I'm going with too.
I'll make it a big old date.
I'm down. I love sushi. I could just eat so many sushi rolls and then just hate
Same.
myself a couple hours later. Batman says, I know a game I'm going for top 3 for me that I haven't mentioned yet. Interesting. Batman feels he knows me well. I feel like you guys know me. Do you know me? Cody, do you
I think
know
I
me?
know. I think I know one game that's going to be in your top 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's also in my top 2.
Really? Let's see. Let's move along then. What are we on, 4?
4.
We're already on 4? I feel like we're flying. Man. Number 4. I had to go to the storage bin for this one because it's not on display. It's going to be now because I still have the box. This is probably a weird one. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I
I
love...
didn't expect to see that one.
Really? You didn't?
No, definitely did not expect to see that.
So this particular bundle was down the road. I think this released like a year or two after. Yeah, 2004. But the game itself came out in 2002. This one includes the expansions, the Wacky Worlds, Time Twister. Actually, do I still have Uno Momento? Keep them company. Hold on.
Hello. I'm here to keep you company. And I wish he blew me up really big so I could serenade you today. But we're going to do some ASMR. Shh.
Okay. You're doing ASMR? I could hear you.
Yes, that's exactly what we were doing.
I could hear you. So this isn't Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but this particular game, and I have Jurassic Park Builder for the original Xbox. Those go
That
for
was
decent
good.
money. But I had this. I put in a lot of time to Roller Coaster Tycoon on the original Xbox. Again, worth a decent chunk of change. I bought it for $14 used, and it's worth like a couple hundred last time I checked.
Really?
Yeah, the Jurassic Park one's worth even more. I think that was up to $600 or $700. I'm not selling them. Lana will probably tell me, sell them, sell them, sell them. I'm not selling them. Oh, Lana's going, hey girl, should we turn this into Cody and the Cat?
Cody and the cat.
Lean into your mic, Cody.
Cody and the cat.
There you go. Ladies, turn down the treble. Turn up the bass.
And make it double.
What a Team Rocket.
Yes, that's exactly what I went for.
Oh, God. Officially canceled, ladies and gentlemen. Officially canceled. Back to Roller Coaster Tycoon. Ty says we better stop. No. You don't even know. You don't even know the ideas that Cody has for an incentive for a stream. I'm probably sure you do know the ideas already. Let's be honest.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Oh.
And we would definitely hit it if we announced it.
We're not ready for that yet. Coming soon.
Not yet.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay frosty, my friends.
Stay frosty. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, though. There was tricks in the first and second game that I absolutely loved. And if you don't know anything, another fun fact about me, I love simulation games. Cities, Skylines, SimCity, like these city builder and constructor games. Absolutely love them. I will spend hours upon hours of, you made Lana anxious. Way to go. Trevor out here saying you're going to be a hot tub streamer. Is that accurate?
Keep it a secret.
He's not going to confirm or deny. That's all we're
I
getting.
do not confirm or deny.
There we go. One of the tricks when it would rain in the game, turn the umbrella stand up to $20, which was the max cost for umbrellas. You would just rake in the money. And it wouldn't like piss off the people. Because like one of the balancing things that you have to do is like happiness of the park and the visitors. So it's one of the things you can maintain happiness and then make a lot of money. Because you have to balance the cost of things. Specifically like your food, beverage, merchandising, gifts, and all that stuff. And then the tickets at the gate. And then individual rides too, based on demand or popularity. So it's a micromanaging game, and I love it because I love to micromanage things. Right? Isn't that what I do?
No.
No. I've been told. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, though. Honestly, if you haven't, play this game. PC, as I mentioned, they're ports of it. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I think, recently got ported to Switch, and that still holds up too. Controls are a bit wonky because it's meant for a mouse and keyboard, but it works. It gets the job done. Better on PC, though, if you can get a copy. I mean, you could probably find a bootleg. It's a small download anywhere. And if you can't, like, it's probably $1 somewhere in a bin. So, but yeah, that's my number 4. That was a really long expose on Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Well, one more thing on it. I can't leave without saying this. Lana does this too. Have you played it, though? Let me ask you that real quick before I...
Yes.
This is a morbid test. Did you ever build the track with a loop?
To make people die?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. We're on the same level
here. I think everybody that's played the game has done it at least once.
You know, that should have been an interview question when we were bringing you on to DNA. The preliminary.
People on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Right. Question 1, have you done that? Question 2, have you ever locked people in a room without doors in The Sims? Have you ever drowned a sim?
Yep.
You're hired. One of us. That's pretty dark.
One of us. One of us.
Batman says they still do that on Planet Coaster. See, this is why the community's here.
Sometimes you have to.
We all think alike. We're all just really messed up in the head. Oh, man. At least I fit in somewhere for once. Finally. Good Lord.
You've never played The Sims? That's incredible.
Hey, hold on, Trevor. Are you serious?
That's a lot of sim games out there.
Does it mean you're fired? No? You were already in before we did the interview question, so you're safe.
Grandfathered in.
And technically, we can't fire anyone. No one's even hired. Everyone's here at their own will. So, make it sound like this is an actual job. Awkward silence following that. Anyways, moving on. What was that for? Back to you then, or how are we doing this?
Nope. You get number 3.
I do get number 3.
You're the odd man.
Lana is, I was waiting for Lana to chime in because she absolutely adores The Sims. The reason that I'm on this computer that I'm on streaming to you guys right now was because it was a purchase for her so she could play The Sims 4. Like that's half the reason that this even came to be. This show here, DNA, came to be a streaming thing was because of the computer gift to her. I bought her a computer to play The Sims. So, weird fun fact story that no one cares about. Moving on to number 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You're probably shocked that this is number 3 and not higher. Well, there are reasons. We'll get to those 2 reasons. But in all honesty, Vice City, holy crap, it improved upon so many things that I didn't know they could improve upon with 3. 3 got me to buy a PS2, and then Vice City just blew me away. For one, it's the 80s. Freaking love the soundtrack to this game. I love that it takes place in Miami. I love the vehicles. I love the missions. I love that you can purchase property in this game. The story was fun. My only critique was the map was small. But it was such a fun experience. The game is great, and it still holds up today. And I have a digital copy on my PS5 that I play every now and then. It might be something we stream one day. Maybe I can convince Lana to play GTA Vice City. But that's my number 3. Fantastic game. If you haven't played this one, honestly, do yourself a solid because I feel GTA 6 is going back to Vice City in some way. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. And maybe it'll be for the 20th anniversary in 2022 that we get GTA 6 back in Vice City. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. It ain't coming this year because GTA 5 is coming to the new consoles again. They were released 2 consoles ago and we're still getting imported.
It's incredible how long that game's lived.
It's overstayed its welcome, but
By far.
it's so good. Still,
Oh, I still play it.
we're still waiting on the GTA role play.
That's true.
Any
That's
updates on
true.
that?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
No, I need to find a new server that I like.
No worries. You got me all
It's
excited.
it's
That's why I bring it
yeah,
up.
it's hard to find a server that is not just fun, but it's uh appropriate. People aren't just screaming slurs and other things. So kind of got to find a good server that I can play on off stream for a week or two,
So,
get
yeah,
acclimated with it, and then be able to bring it
yeah.
to because the first one that I was in, it was good and everything like that. Just there was rendering issues nonstop, and the devs weren't doing much updating of everything. So
No
it
worries. I'm
kind
just
of
giving you a hard time because you got me super excited because I'm like, oh, I watch this stuff randomly. Like I watched somebody on Facebook streaming role playing and they modded where they were a goat
hmm
and they were like climbing things and then falling. Have you seen this?
I have seen it scrolling on Facebook. There's a Facebook gaming guy that plays as it.
It must be the same one then because he was just climbing
Yeah.
like this ladder and then falling off buildings and he just kept doing that. And then I'm like, why am I still watching this? But I'm so intrigued by a goat just falling. It's so stupid. But
That's how
yeah,
I feel about Untitled Goose Game. I just get hooked on it. I'm like, why am I watching this?
it's a fascinating game. That was a good game too. I was
It was.
blown away when people like told me about it. I'm like, okay, some stupid indie game. This is dumb. Then I saw Lock play it, and then I played it myself, and I'm like,
So
okay,
simple, yet it's so fun.
yeah. I'm like, all right,
Just to torture people
pretty
as a
much.
duck.
Yeah, you're an a hole goose. So good, so good, so fucking good.
Hmm. I guess number three back to me.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be shocked by this one. It's one that you probably didn't think of. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is my number three.
Look at
Uh,
that.
for
We're
this
twinsies.
for the same exact reasons you said. This is the first Grand Theft Auto game that I played. I did go back and play three, but this is the first one I actually played um, as a child. I got my hands on it, and
Oh
yeah,
God, I can
definitely.
only imagine like your mind being blown, shooting up
Oh, it
that strip
was.
club,
Yeah, shooting strippers and everything else. It was
beating someone with a bat for money.
it was quite a game. And then I also remember like all of the cheat codes that they had. I remember having like this book that was like that thick and it was full of just gaming cheat codes for this era. And yeah, just getting unlimited health, being invincible, and then just getting all the weapons. You could spawn a tank, and
Yep.
just hop in the tank, and yeah, it was what a game, what a game.
I still have the strat guide for it. I think
Do
it's
you?
up on my bookshelf. Yeah, I'll find a. I'll find it. I'll take a picture, and you guys can check out our Instagram. Search for Dose Nerd Acumen on Instagram and give us a follow there. And then if you like the photo or like any of the photos, leave a comment too. Let us know what you think, and then be on the lookout for the Vice City strat guide if I can find it. And then shout out for listeners. Here's a bonus for you. If you guys check out our Instagram and you like and comment on that photo if I upload it, I'll give 10,000 strands to each person that does that.
Oh,
So if
yeah,
you're
this
listening right now,
it
it's a bonus.
it does blow my mind a little bit how I was just talking about those books that were just full of like hundreds of games and a bunch of cheat codes for them, and how much people hate cheats now compared to like how open it was back then just to be a complete cheater in a game.
So here's the thing with that. Cheats still exist in gaming, but the biggest discouraging factor for me was achievements and trophies. Because if you cheated, it disabled them. So like I'm trying to think, GTA 4, there were cheats for that where you can get health or ammo or weapons, but
hmm
it would disable your achievements on the 360. So I'm like, well, crap. I really am hooked on achievements. I'm not going to cheat now. I'm going to play this legit. So honestly, I've stepped away from cheat codes and trying to hack games, if you will, because of trophies and achievements. Now today, I don't care as much about achievements and trophies as I did before. But
I think I care more now.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think I care more now about doing achievements and everything than I did back then. Back then, I just wanted to play the game and throw it away and play a new game. For the most part.
I wanted bragging rights. I was like, I have to be the first person on my friends that had 100,000 gamer score. And I ended up being that guy just because I was so determined. And I had GameFly. So I played a lot of games. It really helped, especially when you looked up.
I'm jealous of you.
Oh, dude. When GameFly was like at its peak, it was amazing because I would look online and there were games like the NCAA games that you could simulate through franchise mode. There we go. Sims Motherload for life. This is Andrea. She's a cheater. Dirty cheater. But with the NCAA games, you could sim through the seasons or franchise mode, and depending on how well your team did, it could unlock. She tried with the scream. She tried. Valiant effort. Didn't get me. That's okay. I turned it down too because it was blowing up Cody's stream over the weekend. That was loud, man. On your stream.
It was very loud.
So loud.
Once I got the audio actually fixed, then it was loud.
Ty says, I always seen ads about GameFly. I never got to use it. Oh, we used it for years. But as I was saying, with NCAA, you would sim through the seasons. You never had to play a game. And within like the couple days that I, wanted to hold on to the game before I shipped it back, I could get maybe 600, 700, 800, and sometimes 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score. Send the next game back. I'd look up online, what game's easy. I'd find, other games that were super short or super terrible. Some of the Connect games, you just literally had to play through, like Connectimals. I'm like, okay, this is dumb, but I'll play it for 2 hours and get a ton of achievements. And that's how I started grinding my way through. And then Lana and I would play the Lego games. All you had to do is play through those, and you would get 1,000 out of 1,000. So, it added up very quickly to 100,000 gamer score. I think I'm like 120, 30, or 40 now. I don't know, though.
Now you're being punished. You're punished for not jumping.
She said, damn it. Good try. We got another goal. Jeez. So long.
Keeps going.
It just keeps going and going. So yeah, we'll continue on. But yeah, GameFly was great. It still exists. You guys still can support that company. Sponsor us, GameFly.
I think the only downfall with it now is games have to download.
Yeah.
And it takes forever for games to download, even if they're discs. If they're a large game, it takes forever for them to download, and you just waste so much time. And back then, you could just pop it in and play. It's just not. It's not like that anymore. I wish it was.
That's true. Ty loves Lego games, so that's good to know. Coming soon on Wednesdays, coming as soon as actually a week from tomorrow, the TNA on DNA show. So, announcement, Andrea Lana is making her return Wednesday nights, starting next week. And she loves Lego games too. Maybe we'll play some Lego games sometime. That could be fun. He's the Energizer. Goal. He just keeps going. I'll be honest, though, as we're ending our thought on GameFly, the thing that killed it for me with GameFly was Game Pass with Xbox. Because really a lot of the games that I wanted to play were on that service, and it was cheaper than GameFly. And I didn't have to wait. I could just download it right then, right there. So it was all about convenience. And any other games that I really wanted, I was probably going to buy anyways. So, but that's GameFly. Continuing on our list, was it back to you?
Back to me for number 2.
For 2.
Number 2, I had Elder Scrolls Morrowind. I know that was pretty low on your list. But this was the first Elder Scrolls game that I played. The game was beautiful and the mechanics felt so smooth and revolutionary. I broke it out to replay it actually last week because it is on Game Pass, so you can still play it if you want. And yeah, it's still an amazing game. It holds up very, very well. Um, just like any Elder Scrolls games, like Skyrim was just visually, it's just so much better than games that come out that year, typically. And then it usually holds up visually for at least 5 to 10 years. So yeah, Morrowind, it's on the same level. Uh, I would definitely have Elder Scrolls Morrowind as my number two.
Lana out here giving us weird visuals. Thanks for that. She says she's giving up eating Oreos in her underpants. Like, that's a weird sentence. It's just a strange sentence. And I have visuals now. Thanks for that, Lana. And honestly, like, that's views. You don't have to give up doing that. You could just do that on the channel. Oh, yikes. I'm going to be in trouble now.
Or just have me in a hot tub.
See, the things that we'll do for your entertainment.
I'll wear a bikini top for you guys. Don't worry.
I think technically you have to. We talked about that behind the scenes.
You have to cover those areolas up.
No nippies.
We'll get it done.
No nippies. So what are we at? I'm at 2, and then...
Yep, 2, and then you're number 1.
Oh, God. So we're going to do drum roll for yours then to close it, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2, and this was also a pre-owned greatest hits because, again, didn't have money to buy new games or a lot of new games back at that age. So my case is broken. It's from GameStop. Still has the instruction manual, though, so that's nice. Kingdom Hearts. Don't know if anyone's ever heard of that.
I doubt it.
Probably not. But Kingdom Hearts.
Is that an indie game?
It's kind of an indie game. Squaresoft, Disney, small companies that probably won't do great things. But, like, if you want to talk about Final Fantasy having a crossover with Disney properties, you're going to be like, okay, that sounds stupid. How would you? Why? What do you even do? Where do you begin? Even to this day, this story is confusing as all get out. Even more confusing is the names of these games and the timeline of the games. But for whatever reason, the Kingdom Hearts franchise is easily in my top 10 franchises of all time in gaming. The experience, the characters, the obviously recognizable Disney franchises, the Final Fantasy characters are in this, the gameplay loop. It just is everything that I look for in an action RPG. So it's easily worthy of number 2. And there was only one other game that could dethrone it. They're very intrigued by your hot tub stream here in chat for those watching this back. So this is gonna be
it's gonna take some money.
We'll put an incentive out there, and if we reach it, Cody will do it. He said, we've talked behind the scenes. He said he'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've already talked about on stream and to you privately that I do want to do a charity stream, so that might be an incentive for a charity stream.
There we go.
Yeah, so
Can
the
we get
donations
you...
are most likely going to go to prevention of veteran suicide, to a company called Operation 22, or 22 Kill. So yeah, if we reached a point to where I could donate a certain amount of money to them, if we reach that point, then I would absolutely do a hot tub stream in a bikini.
Put together a plan for this. I have a question. Do you have a hot tub?
I do. I personally don't, but my mom does.
Okay.
So I could easily go over there and stream.
Because if you didn't, I have a alternative suggestion that could be fascinating. You get one of those little kiddie pools filled up with soap suds and bubbles, and then
Ooh.
offer a car wash service in your outfit that you're going to wear. So you have to not only shame
Car
yourself,
Wow.
yourself on stream, but offer car washes to strangers.
That's even more expensive.
And then with your bikini top, that's how you clean the windshields.
Yeah, I get it.
So don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you? Lana wants a bathtub. I think that's your thing. We have the giant bathtub.
I have a bathtub. I have 2 bathtubs.
2? Look at you living the fancy life. Your kids over here just dirty, and then you have 2 bathtubs.
Mm-mm.
Man, privileged boy. I'm just kidding. Ty says this cannot be serious. This is real life right now. This is DNA going a completely different direction that we never thought we'd take this brand. But in all honesty, it's the things that we do to keep you guys entertained. We don't want to create stale content. We want to keep, up in the ante here. Keep stepping it up.
Yeah, if money's going to go to a charity that I care deeply about, I'm absolutely for it.
And it's for a good cause. We're not here for profit. This isn't our jobs. Neither of us do this for a living. We don't make money. We turn it into the raffle at the bottom of the screen there. We turn it into charity events like he had pitched here. So, Lana, we do have 2 bathtubs, but I'm not fitting in the other one. It's for the kids. Jeez. Continuing on. Number 1 pick for the year 2002 in gaming. This franchise still is amazing to this day. I've enjoyed every title except for one, and that is Animal Crossing for the GameCube. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Or is this? It makes sense.
It makes sense. I thought Final Fantasy would be somewhere on your list.
Which one?
What was that? 7, I think, came out?
7 was 97.
I can't remember which one it was. I did see a Final Fantasy on that list, though.
I think 11 came out this year.
Or 11, yeah.
Didn't play 11. That was online.
Yeah, this doesn't necessarily surprise me, considering all the games that were left. Because you did say a few on your honorable mentions that I thought were going to be higher up on your list. So
Batman Surprise. He says Godzilla not there, Halo not there. Halo came out in 2001.
yeah, Halo we talked about last week or
The last
time.
episode.
That was both of our number ones for
And the
2001.
Godzilla games, while I love Godzilla, generally the Godzilla games are not good. Throwing that out there. Love Godzilla. Games are not great. There have been a couple. The one I can't find anywhere for the PS4 was a good one. Can't find it anywhere. If you can find it, it's like hundreds of dollars. It's absurd. They just stopped printing it for whatever reason. Lana out here judging me because yes, our old house had a smaller bathtub. Yeah, I took what I could get. It was the only option back then. Now I've stepped up. We have a bigger tub. I'm spoiled now. Okay? You literally have Tom Nook on my desk. You knew it. Yes, Tom Nook is right here. He's the one that's taking all our money, actually. So he is. What a greedy little whatever
jerk.
he is. Yeah. But yeah, this is what started it all, though, for me. I know one existed in Japan before this on the Nintendo 64, but for us in the States, speaking of donation, Cody King with a 100-bit donation. Hip, hip.
I wanted to see him catch it.
Hooray! Wouldn't that be crazy if he was animated and he just jumped out of the air and caught it?
That would have been awesome. I thought I saw a bag. I thought he was holding a bag for a second. Now I'm looking at him and see it's a sweater.
Yeah.
But that would have been cool.
No, it goes right down Triple H's sweaty abs, down his thigh into the cup.
washboard.
His washboard. Thinking about laundry now all of a sudden. This is weird.
King of Kings, if you will.
The King of Kings. Bow down to the king. But yeah, this game, I would go on and play this on the DS. I would play this on the 3DS. Play this on the Wii. I have it on the Switch now. The one I didn't like was on the Wii U because it wasn't an actual Animal Crossing game. It was a weird amiibo festival kind of thing that it was just... And then there was another one on the 3DS as well. It was just like a decorating game. And that... Well, so I had two of them that I didn't like. But it's my number one Switch game that I've put the most hours into. It's an amazing franchise. And in all honesty, the game is stupid. The game loop is stupid. Like, you literally catch bugs, chop down trees, and just do tasks and find things, and then you slowly pay off your house, which then adds a room. And then you just repeat again, and you just collect things. And, like, there's really no point. You don't win.
It's a game of doing chores.
It really is. There's no winning. There's no finish line. You just pay off your debts. I'm like, aren't I doing this enough in life? Why do I need to do this here with these stupid animals? But for whatever reason, it is so addicting. It's like The Sims. The Sims, you have to take care of your family, clean, get a job. You have to manage your stress level or your damn sim. Why would you be drawn to a game like that? To escape the life you're probably already stressed from. For whatever reason, it's appealing. I don't know. Animal Crossing, thank you for being a thing, because I've put so many hours into that franchise. And that's where it began, was 2002 with that game.
Well played. Well played. So you thought this list was easy for you?
I did, yeah. Like, I had this done in probably 20 minutes, to be honest with you.
It took me way longer than that. Way longer. I mean, like I said, I had 22 games that I wanted to pick. I really wanted Outlaw Golf to be on my top 10, but I just couldn't do it.
Hot Shots Golf is better.
It is. But I guess time for my number one. So my number one is Kingdom Hearts.
Ah, you dirty.
Yeah, this was the first real immersive storyline that I can remember. Yeah, combined worlds that I never expected. It still holds up today as the franchise is still thriving. It's still making games. It's still making great games. And just the world of Kingdom Hearts is very wide and vast, and people love the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I'm one of those people.
Would you say it's soaring?
That was bad.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, this is the first real immersive storyline in a game that like really brought me into the game. It felt like that I was just so deeply invested in. Yeah, and just with all the games, just this being the beginning of that franchise as well, that kind of elevated it because how good the actual franchise is today. My wife saw this list earlier. Well, she saw the list of 22. She didn't see my top 10. But she was like, "Oh, Kingdom Hearts, that's the one game on this list I know." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's good because she doesn't play games much, so if she knows Kingdom Hearts, it means that it's the clear-cut number. Because even people that don't play video games have Kingdom Hearts, have played Kingdom Hearts, and love the game. So, yes, the best game in 2002 was Kingdom Hearts.
And honestly, if it wasn't for Animal Crossing, I would agree 100%. So
yeah, I just don't like to do chores.
Fair enough. The thing is, let's take Disney out of Kingdom Hearts. Is it the same game?
No.
So it's Disney that makes that game so special.
I think it's the combination. But then again, if you added like Nickelodeon characters to it, I think it would work just the same.
No, dude, you're running around with Cat Dog? Come on.
Well, I would love running around with Cat Dog.
But you'd be alone in the world with a little cat dog.
Think about like Jimmy Neutron being added to that game. Like, that would be great.
I mean, I think it could work. I don't think it would have had the success.
Timmy Turner and the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, it
Maybe
could
throw
work.
SpongeBob in there.
Oh God, that'd be so annoying. Oh man.
No, I don't. I don't think it would have worked nearly as well. I think it would still be a decent game if they were just random characters that played the parts of the Disney characters. But
Yeah.
I think the fact that there's Disney characters in there definitely elevated it, especially for children and maybe young teenagers.
Well,
It definitely elevated it.
it's like that, like you said, the introduction to an RPG for kids, but yet it's still so advanced for veterans of RPGs. Like it's got such a like a unique depth to it, where you can play through the game without a full comprehension of RPG stuff, but it has enough meta to it to expand beyond casual gamers. And they somehow figured that out and made it inviting for everyone. And I think really that, with the combination of recognizable characters, they found a formula that worked. And
Yes, absolutely. And it's still working today.
Yeah, it really is. I enjoyed 3. I know a lot of people, I think the hype for that got to people because people were like, oh my God, 3 is finally coming out after 15 years. They got it and they're like, huh.
That's it.
And I think they were more hyped. I think they built it up more than they should have. Not that 3 was a bad game by any means, because it was fantastic.
It was.
But I think they were just so hyped that they were expecting something more when it delivered on everything it needed to. I think it was the people's fault, not the game's fault or the developer. But that's just me. I don't know. And I would love to do these games on stream, but Disney, my God, they are notorious for copyright flags.
Yeah.
Like 3
Yeah,
strikes, you're out on Twitch, by the way. I don't know if you know that about the terms of service. 3 strikes for copyright and you're out, and Disney loves to flag stuff. They absolutely do. Luckily, they have a system on Twitch which will mute you on your video on demands. YouTube will attack the hell out of you with copyrights. So that is there as a safety net, but man, Disney, though, they will attack you hard for their properties. And that game is filled with soundtracks from Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they will rip you apart.
Nothing better than Phil Collins.
No, Tarzan. There you go. Yeah, that was 2002, though. I like to close these things with the ranking of the games. Not our rank, but actual games that sold or had really good reviews. This may or may not include games that were released that year, but sales and review-wise, whatever was charting, this is the top 10 list. Starting at 10, Super Mario Sunshine. 9, Halo Combat Evolved, which we know came out at the tail end of 2001. So obviously it was getting into households in 2002, so this makes sense it's on the top 10. Kingdom Hearts at 8, Spider-Man at 7, Super Mario Advance 3 at 6, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec at 5, Super Mario Advance 2 at 4, Madden NFL 2003 at 3, Grand Theft Auto 3 at 2. Again, that came out last year, if we're talking about years, last year, and is in 2001, the prior year to this episode. And the number 1 slot, which makes complete sense because it was in all the news media. For those that don't know, Hot Coffee, look it up. No, that was San Andreas, wasn't it?
Hot Coffee? Hot Coffee was saying.
Yeah, there was another controversy that was happening. Probably just the pure content.
I mean, just Grand Theft Auto alone is known for the controversy. Every single game that comes out has some sort of controversy tied to it.
Speaking of Ty says, "What's coffee?" Lana says, "Will be in her."
You can Google that.
It is. Yeah, it's a hidden thing.
Yeah, you can Google it.
But yeah, Vice City number 1, and it makes sense. In all honesty, Animal Crossing at this time, I don't think was on a lot of people's radars. It was such a unique thing that has gained even to today a cult following. I think that Animal Crossing during the pandemic blew up because it allowed escapism for people and community.
Yeah, we could do more chores.
We could do things though. We could do things. We could escape.
Yeah, The one that came out on the Switch was honestly the first Animal Crossing I played. I had never played Animal Crossing up into that because I didn't get it. I thought it was kind of dumb.
Did you enjoy it on the
But
Switch?
yes,
Okay.
I enjoyed it until my wife started playing it, and then I realized she's on the same exact island, and she just like evolved everything before I got to it. And I was like, I really don't feel the growth anymore because I'm not doing these things. You've already done them.
I'll tell you that is a side effect of why couldn't they have two islands in the same console? I get
I don't
why
know.
on a program level, because that's a lot of
And it's
data.
weird because like we were on different profiles, so I kind of just assumed that us being on different profiles would make two different islands, but it didn't
Nope.
matter.
It's per
Her
console.
profile, yep, her profile was on my island. So yeah, that kind of ruined it for me. But I was having a great time with it, and I still pick it up every now and then. It's a fun time.
It is. It's a great game. I've never heard you talk about it, so it kind of piqued my interest that you've played it. But it's a franchise that I don't think really got into people's minds until like the 3DS or even the DS, and then back again with the Switch. It's one that I don't hear a lot of people talk on. GTA makes sense that those are the top ones. Like myself, I was playing that. It was the reason I bought consoles. It was that important to me back then. So, but that's all I have for 2002. Any other memories you want to share? I was a junior in high school that year.
Was
So,
in fourth grade,
whew.
I think. I think. Um, no, the top half, I didn't think we were going to be as close as we were. We had a lot of ties and a lot of one-offs in our top five. Yeah, our bottom half was definitely the ones that where you didn't have the games I had and I didn't have the games you had anywhere on the top 10. Besides Morrowind, you had Morrowind a lot lower than I thought you were going to.
It's because it's the least favorite in the series for me, to be honest.
Gotcha.
It's not a bad game, but it's not my favorite, and it's purely because of the limitations of it. While you complimented its visual aspect, for me that was its downfall. A lot of it had to do with on the console, the draw distance, and other various things, and the very robotic, mannerisms of the people that didn't even improve much in Oblivion, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like in 2002 though, this was still pretty advanced for 2002 at least.
It was, but I was also playing a game where I could just run around and steal cars and do whatever I wanted in a city
That's true.
environment. To me, that was more an appealing sandbox as opposed to that specific RPG loop. And again, it's not a
Yeah.
bad game by any means. These other ones were just so much more inviting because I could listen to the soundtracks I liked. I could just drive cars. Like that to me was a superior experience than what I was getting in a Morrowind. And that's why I ranked it based on that. Not that it's a better or worse game, it's just what really had the hooks in me.
I get it.
So,
I get it.
but that's it for now. This has been the Dosage Podcast. Again, next week, Tuesday, join us, please. I mean, literally, we're inviting you. If you want to be on the episode, talk to us. We're going to be talking about everything that happened at E3. Well, not everything, but if we talked about everything, that'd be like a 3-day episode.
Yeah, we'd be here a while.
We're going to talk about, like we do here, highlights, some notes, some specific things that we saw, some things that maybe you didn't know or each other didn't know, things coming out this year, later this year, next year, things that basically is a teaser trailer, anything, any notes that we're going to take. We're going to be scanning probably a lot of websites over the weekend into Tuesday for this, and we're going to miss things. So please be part of the conversation, whether it's in chat or if you want to be on the episode. We need your help covering E3 because it is 3.5 days, almost 4 days
EC3.
of EC3 of content. So a lot of stuff there. Coming up this week, though, tomorrow night we have Vengeance Day brought to you by MXG, the general manager show. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Cody be back with us on that, doing commentary. So that'll be fun. One of the first joint commentary shows in a long time for NAW. So I'm excited to have that. Thursday, back to normal. NAW again. So if you have not redeemed for championship opportunities, you can do so, by the way, anytime. It doesn't have to be during live shows. You can just hop into the chat profile on the channel, and you can redeem anything. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not. He's got, what is that? What are you doing?
Oh, I put my phone on the phone holder.
Oh.
Yeah, it came with the light for some reason. So I could take pictures from far away, I guess.
Oh, that's fun.
It came with a remote control too, that Bluetooth to your phone. So I think the light was actually like for pictures.
It's a selfie thing, yeah.
Yeah, so like I can set this up somewhere and use a little remote control thing and take a picture.
I mean, it works. I saw the reviews and I was like, maybe?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting little device here.
Well, if it sucks, let me know. We'll get you something else. Speaking
I
of,
like the light. I'm just not going to use this portion of it. I'm not going to take pictures with it. But the light, I love.
Ty says TikTok time. Speaking of gifting things or getting things, tomorrow is Cody's birthday.
It is my birthday.
27?
27.
Dang, man, to be 27 again. I got
27 years of age.
I got married at age 27.
Man, to get married at age 27.
Yeah.
I got married at age 20.
Dang.
20 years old. I've been married for coming up on 7 years.
I was 20 when I met my, now wife, but that's when I first met her when I was 20. So, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. People are wishing you happy birthday. Look at that. Look at the love.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
So, yeah, join us tomorrow for Cody's birthday bash, a.k.a. Vengeance Day, a.k.a. MX's general manager show, Cody Apex, for your birthday. He's buying you Apex? Don't you already have Apex? Or does he mean just
free.
play Apex?
It's free anyway.
Hashtag we love Cody. But yeah, after Thursday, NAW, be on the lookout for pop-up streams this weekend. Any plans for that?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, no concrete.
Yeah, I gotta see what I'm doing this weekend.
No concrete.
I believe on Friday.
All right, there you go. So maybe something. The best way to find out, though, join our Discord. It alerts you every time something gets uploaded to our YouTube and every time we go live on Twitch. And then the real best way, turn on those notifications on our Twitch here. It will get notified to your personal mobile device. Just make sure your notifications on your mobile device are also turned on, and then you'll get alerted every time we go live, because that's not going to get annoying. But it might be helpful to you. Who knows? DK says I got married at 18 and 28. Ring finger empty, y'all just saying, says Ty. Ty, you're young though, man. Don't rush. Jeez. Enjoy. Not to say you can't enjoy marriage, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to get myself into trouble. I better stop.
No, keep going.
But yes, this has been the Dosage, episode 116. Sweet 116. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back together. More Dosage 1 week from tonight. And catch all our other stuff on podcast platforms, including the NOW podcast featuring Cody and Trevor, which will be next week Monday because of In Your House Sunday night.
Yes, sir.
So, but thank you, Cody, for joining us. Next time I'll see you, it will be your birthday. And then thank you, listeners, for joining us, whether it was here live in chat during a show on Twitch or being listened to back on podcast platforms or on YouTube or wherever you found this. I don't know who's stealing our stuff, but thank you. As always, it's been a pleasure. And until next time, good night, everybody.